Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 Hardcore. It's Season 2, it's Round 3, we're heading back down under. We're going to Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. So, Oscar's home race, and hopefully we can do better than we did last year where we didn't even finish a lap. We had all sorts of technical issues as well last year, which really didn't help. But yeah, fingers crossed. We can do something, maybe tonight. I don't know. Our pace is not good, so as the video title kind of suggests, we're probably in for a bit more misery tonight here in Melbourne, but at least we should complete more than just one sector. Both our cars crashing out on the opening lap last year was not good at all, and we've already had one big crash for Oscar this year last night at Jeddah, which has pretty much crippled one of his engines and powertrain compilations. So yeah, it's not been a great start to the year at all. We've got 11 days now until the Grand Prix, and we have got the chance to at least get a new part on the car, if not both of them. Let's advance a little bit of time once we've checked our inbox. So there you can see on the left is what the car should have looked like at the end of the Grand Prix, and on the right is what Oscar's car actually looks like. We destroyed a chassis, a front wing, a suspension. Thankfully, all Mark 1 models, not the new Mark 2 versions, so that's good. But look at the engine. We took 60% off the engine, 60% off the ERS, and we completely destroyed the gearbox. There goes the extra engine, ERS and gearbox that we were due to get this year from the regulation changes. That's gone now, so yeah, that's not good at all. Right, suspension is complete. Let's go to car parts. Did I only make the one? I did. I need to make another one. Well, I need to make more than one. It'll take 8 days. Melbourne is in 8 days, so we can get these on both cars. Okay, that's nice. Let's go with 3 more, so that we've got one for each car and a couple of spares. We'll install that on car 2. And while we're here, let's also replace that chassis and the front wing as well. Alright, there we go. So we do have 2 operational cars, kind of. I need to swap out the gearbox. There we go. We should still hopefully be able to get through the season without replacing the gearbox, as long as we don't destroy one again. Not so sure about the engine and ERS. We'll see how that goes. Obviously we can use these for practice for a couple more rounds before they're completely worthless, but they certainly won't be doing any racing tonight, that's for sure. Alright, how long are we away from the rest of our parts being ready? Chassis in 18 days, side pods 19 days. So that's way after this Grand Prix. And then 26 days for the new rear wing, 33 days for the underfloor. Yeah, bit of a wait. Good evening, Farah. How are you tonight? Right, I know about low suspension and low chassis. That's not an issue. We've got a fire in the design centre. That's not good news. Come on, it never rains but it pours. It's going to shut down everything for 10 days, and it's not something that we can just go, let's just leave it and see what happens. We have no choice, so that's really not good. I've got some more scouting in. Let's continue our practice of scouting out all the drivers. Pietro's never going to make it into F1 now that he's been released. You know, 73 at 27 years old, it's over for him. Dennis Moreau probably isn't going to make it. Donna, this is the first of the female drivers. We actually picked up on this on our first episode of season 2 in pre-season. Definitely going to scout her out. Miguel Baltazar is also a new gen, might make it, but it's unlikely. Kush Main is probably not going to make it now. He might do, but who else do I want to scout? Is there anyone else I want to scout? I want to scout out Veronica, another new female racer. And I'm going to start scouting out some staff as well. I did make a slight amendment to the rules. The rule that said that we couldn't scout anybody, or we couldn't approach anybody from Ferrari, Mercedes or Red Bull until 2025 at the earliest, is when we could hire them. That has been tweaked a little bit to say that we must now also be a top 5 team, because that just seems a little bit more realistic, that the worst team on the grid couldn't just go, here's a bit of money and just get the very best people in the industry. So I'm going to do a little bit of prep scouting, but it's unlikely that we'll be able to get anybody from those teams this year, or at the end of this year. We might have to wait another year before we can approach anyone from that team or those teams. But I do want to take a look at Ron Meadows. Oh, he's gone to Ferrari. Interesting. If he's just signed a new contract, that's not going to happen then. Where did Laurent Mekies go? Laurent Mekies has gone the other way to Mercedes. Okay, let's take a look at head of aero. So I'm going to scout out these guys. And we'll scout out Jared next after that, because we're out of scouts now. He's gone to McLaren. Interesting. Yeah, we never did look to see where everyone had gone, did we? Peter Promodo, or Prodromo, sorry, I always get his name wrong, has gone from McLaren to Mercedes. So he's gone in the opposite direction to Jared. That's an interesting switch. Maybe that's why McLaren are doing quite well at the start here. They've signed arguably a better head of aero. Let's see. Who did Alpine get to replace Dirk after we pinched him? Alessandro Cinelli made the move. Interesting. Dickon is in free agency. Rather than signing him as to replace Alessandro Cinelli, who left Alfa to go to Alpine, they've signed Martin Werner, who's a new gen, rather than signing Dickon. That's an interesting choice. Adam Kenyon's still at Williams. Very interesting. Hello to everyone else who's popped in as well. John, F1 Clips, Victor, Mr. Water, good to see you guys. Let's take a quick look at Technical Chiefs as well, see if there's been any movement there. So, Enrique is in free agency. He's not been snapped up by anybody. Now, that is a surprise. I thought someone would have signed him. So, we could actually approach him if we wanted to, because he's no longer at a top team. He is in free agency. That makes things very interesting. Definitely have to keep an eye on him. James Allison's still there. Pierre is still there. Simone Resta's gone to Ferrari. Okay. Jody Eggington has switched places with Dan Fallows. We obviously signed him from Aston, and Jody's gone the opposite direction. David Warner still at Williams, Matt Harmon still at Alpine, Jan Monchot still at Alfa Romeo, Neil Holdy is still at McLaren. Tarek has gone to Haas to replace Simone Resta. And that's it. That's everybody. So, no place on the grid for Enrico Cardile. That is a bit of a surprise. I thought someone would have signed him. Alright, so time to prep for the Grand Prix. Once again, we're going to be extremely cautious with our objectives. One car in Q2, one in the top 15. Even with the new suspension, I don't think we're going to make a big step forward by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think we're going to get the fastest lap. I'm going to try and get one to finish in the top 15 tonight. Whether it's going to happen or not, it's anyone's question. Can we get one in the top 14? I think 14th might be just a little bit too much. Although we have got potential rain in qualifying. We've got light rain on the Saturday, so that could be practice, it could be quali, could be both. We shall find out on the Saturday, I suppose. Let me get that new suspension fitted to car 1. Just gotta hope we don't prang it now. There we go, and let's take a quick look at what that's actually done. Not a lot. I mean, our downforce looks better, but it can't be down to that. Can't be down to that, surely not. We take that off. Well, maybe it is. Let me have a look. I've made some slight improvements. So if we do that, there you can see. You know what? That is not bad. That's quite a nice little improvement to our downforce just from slapping on the suspension. I did not expect to see that much of an uptick in our lower medium speed performance. That gives me a little bit of extra hope for tonight. Okay, let's go ahead and put the new suspension back on then. Of course, that fire does cause some issues with other parts.
It's wonderful to be back down under for the Australian Grand Prix. We're a stone's throw from the beach here at the Albert Park circuit. It might be party mood in the grandstands, but in the paddock, expectations and tensions are high. The Albert Park circuit is bursting with rapid corners and a long straight where drivers can push their speed to the limits. Good attention to medium speed downforce will likely make beating this beast of a track just a little bit easier.
Red Bull have outscored their rivals to be at the top of the constructors' table right now. But at just the third round of this year, the title could be anyone's.
Stay with us then as the weekend gets underway.
Yeah, as I was about to say before I got so rudely interrupted by Crofty, the fire in the design centre could cause some serious issues getting the rest of the parts ready for Baku, though. That's not ideal. And you can guarantee that there are going to be some upgrades for other teams at Baku. Maybe not all of them, but certainly some of them, and hopefully it won't be the ones that we're kind of, close to in performance. Right. So, practice engine parts still in there. Let's get some setups on the car. I've got a whole bucket full of setups here. Let's start with an 8, 13, 7.3, a 3.05 and a 0.4. That's just the first one that jumped off the page at me there. We want to go 20 laps for a run at Melbourne. And for Oscar, in his home Grand Prix, let's go with a 7.5, a 12.5, a 6.4, a 3.4, and a 1. Let's see how that works out for him. Alright, off to the track they go.
Green light now. Radio check.
Yeah, that is the thing there, Farah, saying shame I couldn't approach that staff member. While Cardellay is now a free agent and is like the second best technical chief in the game on paper, we just signed Dan Harmon, and he is locked in now on a 4 or 5 year deal, and we can't break contracts until they get to their final year. So even if we wanted to, we couldn't approach Cardellay, but not for the reason of him being at Ferrari, but because we can't break Dan's contract.
A bit less curb.
Copy.
We need to cool the car.
Copy.
Be interesting to see if someone else snaps him up at the end of the year, though. I guess I'm regretting those extra restrictions right now. No, not really. I mean, it would be nice to have access to a better option in terms of drivers. It would have been nice to maybe try and snag Alonso. What he could have done with our car compared to, the lads that we've got in right now, without disrespecting them, would blow them out the water. It would be half a second improvement in performance minimum. But that's assuming that Alonso doesn't start degrading very quickly, because he is, 42? So, yeah, not a spring chicken anymore. And certainly in that period of stat decline. Could you imagine if we could get Norris in the car? He still wouldn't be able to do a huge amount with it for the first season, or at least for the first part of this season, but
how does it feel?
Just that potential and that smoothness as well. We could have so many options with strategy for him. 97%, that's a strong start for Lawson. I suppose this is technically his home Grand Prix as well. There is no Grand Prix in New Zealand, so this is the closest one.
What's your limitation?
And an 85% for Oscar. So once again, his car is going to need a little bit more work than Liam's.
speed limiter, obviously.
So what do I need
And
to change?
stop on the marks.
It is our camber / toe. Gonna go with that. See what that does. And as for Oscar, we need to change the rear wing, so that needs to be a 13, I think. Yeah, almost every single one of my setups. So I've got a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 14 setups for this circuit, and 13 of them I've got a 13 rear wing. So I'm guessing it's a 13. Didn't even realise that. The front wing is off as well. That's going to need to go up. So let's go with an 8.5 13 7.3. No, we'll leave that at 6.4. A 3.3 and a 0.95. That is not quite enough. Actually, we could probably take the front wing the other way. Let's try something a bit different. Let's go 7.5 13 8.2. No, that's way too much. Okay, it's going to need to be a 7.3 or a 6.4. Let's try 8.5 13 6.4 3.35 0.95. No, that's not going to work. Alright, what about an 8 13 7.3 3.1 0.5? That's getting closer. I'm going to have to wing this one, I think, because there's just so many setups. Trying to find the right one could take a while. Let me have a look at a 7.5 13 7.3 3.05 0.5. No, that's too much that way. So I'm going to be looking somewhere around here. I've got a 3.15 and a 0.45. I mean, that's close. I'm going to try that. Get Liam back on track. And now Oscar.
There's a yellow flag now.
A little spin for Albon. I was giving consideration to trying a one-stop tonight, but given that we just lack some pace, I might have to just push the tyres in every stint and go for a two-stop. Let's wait and see how the improved downforce actually helps our car.
Any feedback?
Got that up to a 96, so we are closing in with Oscar. not too far away. And we went the wrong way with Lawson, but that's okay. We can correct that when we get back into the garage. Right, so... Alright, so... okay, so the camber, we got that right with that position change, but we went the wrong way with the toe. So the toe needs to be over here, but we do need to push that there. Now that might break the front wing, so I might have to pull the front wing back. And that risks breaking everything else again. So if I push that like that and then go like that, I might do it. Might be too much of an overcorrection. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. So, how many laps do I want to do? Probably 30 laps of fuel. Might be a bit too much. But we are going to get a broken session potentially in Q3 in FP3 with the rain. And well, that's a relatively straightforward fix. There we go. And again, we want to go 30 laps. And let's send them back out.
Green light, green light.
We may see Lawson having a slight edge on pace, a slight lack of pace in comparison to Oscar over the next couple of races. Now that we're going to be putting brand new engine parts into Oscar for the race. There'll be a little bit of a difference, but it's not significant at this stage. I mean, 77%. We know that the Mercedes doesn't start losing power to what, around 65%? Very durable engine, so maybe the main race in Baku we might see that coming into play. Possibly the sprint, but more likely just from the main race onwards. I don't think it'll be an issue here tonight. Not unless Lawson says, hold my beer to Oscar.
And how's the car?
Right, 97%. We're in the optimal window, but we're still not quite there. I've probably overcorrected something, which means we've probably done the same. Yep, we've done the same with Liam. Okay, well, that's good to know. We're just fine-tuning now. I'm getting horrible flashbacks / premonitions of a double DNF in this Grand Prix. Oh, please don't let it happen. I don't think I could take it if that happened again. Interesting as well to see tonight if the trend of poor qualifying for Hamilton and Sainz continues. 2 races down so far, and in both of them, both Sainz and Hamilton really struggling in qualifying and then coming back through the field a bit in the race. Sainz really impressively in both races, it has to be said. Not so much for Hamilton, but the Mercedes does not look quick this year. Alright, we've got wet weather. We're on the inters. Let's go with 20 laps. Does this mean no rain in quali? Maybe. How long is it going to last? Oh, it's going to last the whole session. Okay, so maybe we are going to get the wet quali.
2. Should be green. A bit less curb.
Copy.
Okay, we can ignore the track drying up because it's just a temporary thing. Get it right. Yes, we did with Oscar. And what about Liam? Yes, we did with Liam as well. Excellent stuff. So, once again, we're not going to be quite fully prepped because car park knowledge is still lacking a little bit. And I would need to run both cars for the rest of this session just to get them up to 100%, which I'm not prepared to do. So once they hit 100 on their track knowledge, which will be in the next couple of laps, we'll be calling them in. And they will be like 98, 99% prepped.
Oh, it's a bit lap.
There we go, 98%. That'll do for me. So we are done with practice, just need to wait out the remaining 29 minutes or so, and then we can try qualifying. Mr. Water, why are you deleting John's message saying hello to you? Well, Stroll is going to have the honour of topping the practice session by Merritt being the only one setting a time in the dry. Good for you, Lance. Okay, so both drivers, as you can see, they are getting closer to starting in very high confidence. Like, Liam's right on the edge of that now. Oscar's not too far behind now that he's getting a bit of a bond with his engineer. That's good to see. Of course, the higher their starting level of confidence, the higher their default level is, as they naturally degrade. Having gained confidence, it naturally degrades back to its starting level, and the higher that starting level, the higher the standard default bonus is, and also the higher it recovers to if they lose confidence. So that's encouraging.
We're moving on now to the all-important qualifying session.
These days, it's a much faster layout here at Albert Park, and teams need to focus on getting high and medium speed cornering right to set a good qualifying time.
Now, Karun, you and I were actually just talking about that man there, Max Verstappen. How do you think he'll be feeling today?
The main thing on my mind was their speed in practice. You just have to see how they fare in qualifying.
You're going to want to join us for this, folks, so fasten your seatbelts.
Nothing to worry about with that little spinny circle. That was a download restarting. I immediately paused it again. So, have we got any rain due? Maybe. But before we get there, let's put a brand new engine and a brand new ERS into Oscar's car. There we go. And let's send them out to qualify.
Green light.
We have got rain coming.
So let's prepare the lap.
Copy.
Maximum tire
There
and
you
brake
can see it is going to get a little bit damp in just over 5 minutes. So we've got time for one run, probably not two. With everybody piling out, there's a good chance that somebody's going to get held up. Although it looks like both Ferraris have got a nice clear track this time around, so I would expect Sainz to get through this time. Right on board with Oscar, the hometown hero. Maybe not hero, but certainly the hometown boy.
Okay, track is clear. Recharge off and push. Clear ahead. Let's go.
So Oscar's slightly quicker than Liam in the first sector. They've got clear air between them as well, so there's no dirty air difference there. There's no pressure for Liam from behind. So this is straight performance between the two. Oscar again slightly up in the middle. On 17.9. Oh, 0.4 of a second difference between the two. And we're only half a second off Sainz. There we go. It's a bit more like it. A second off Perez. Oh, Bottas is quicker than us. I wonder if we can squeeze another lap in. If we turn them around and send them straight back out, maybe we can get another flying lap in. That would be nice. Would also be needed because it looks like we're going out. We're faster than Leclerc. Ooh. Yeah, we're out at the moment with both drivers, but so is Charles Leclerc. Wow. Not a good lap for Ferrari's #1 driver at the moment. I think we might just have time to squeeze another lap. I'm going to have to take manual control, I think, just to get them round on their out lap quicker. Make sure they've got a chance to actually get the lap in. There we go. Turn them around nice and quickly.
Focus on tyres and brakes.
Yeah.
Really start to focus on your brakes and front tyres.
I think I've got time, actually. I don't think I need to do that. I'm just going to let them prep normally. Now, the question is anyone going to follow us out? Or are they going to leave it too long? Kind of hope they leave it too long. Check the confidence levels, just under peak confidence for Oscar. A little bit less for Liam. And they are all piling out again. And this is going to be bad for us. Because this is going to be traffic for us. Ugh.
There is Norris in front of you.
Recharge off and push.
You got a good gap ahead. So go one.
This is going to be messy. Oh, get out the way, get out the way. Ah, that's a slow first sector. For both. Oh, not good, not good. Come on. Oh, that's it. Lawson's lap is ruined. So Lawson's out. Doesn't look like Oscar's going to improve either. Not unless he pulls something mighty out here in the final sector. Come on, come on. Come on. Ah, nope. He improved in the final sector, but he lost too much in the opening part of the lap.
P16 now for the moment.
So, both our cars are out.
Copy.
Well, that's not good. Well, at least we inflicted a little bit of revenge on one of the Williams cars
Okay.
there, but it's all immaterial. No one's going to improve now. All right, maybe not nobody. Somebody improved. Leclerc improved. He got himself out. Of the drop.
Oscar Piastri.
Looks like I went about 30 seconds too soon. Well, that's the first time this season we failed to get out of Q1 with either car, but I do feel that we were a little hard done by there. I think we did have enough pace to get out, just. I mean, if you look at it, we weren't that far away with Piastri. He was 400ths, just less than 400ths away from 15th. Less than 400 away from 14th, so... Yeah, I honestly think that had he had a clean second run there, Oscar would definitely have got through, and I think Lawson probably would have as well. So, not really sure where we are in terms of outright pace. Probably still not great, but it is Max who takes pole ahead of Perez. So once again, Rebels looking very quick. Then a Leclerc from Alonso, Ocon, Sainz getting himself into the top 10. Then Zhou in the Williams in 7th. Russell and Stroll, and then Hamilton in 10th. So Hamilton made it through. Neither McLaren made it through this time. Bottas up in 13th, Albon in 12th. The Haas in 15th and 16th. So yeah, we're definitely fighting with Haas. And Gasly again with a poor qualifying. He has not been qualifying well this season.
The time has come to fight it out. It's race day.
Albert Park often seems to set teammate against teammate. From Hill and Villeneuve dueling for the 1996 win, to Bottas beating fellow Mercedes driver and pole sitter Hamilton to the win in 2019. We've been having sunny weather here today, but there are some clouds looming that might complicate things for teams further down the line.
Exciting choices lie ahead then for the teams and their drivers here in Melbourne. So let's see what happens.
Okay, so back to clear skies for the race. Strategy-wise, I think we might possibly be able to two-stop this if we go really aggressive. That's asking a lot of those mediums. If I go hards, go for an early box around lap 15. That gives me a little bit of extra leeway later. I'm going to try that. We'll do the same with Oscar because his tyre wear is pretty rough as well. Oh, excuse me. Right, in terms of extra fuel, I'm just going to go one extra lap tonight. I'm going to hold off on the battery if I can, seeing as we're starting, you know, a fair way down the grid, and then try and kick it in on lap 3 if we're still in range. Right, let's give this a go.
The fans here in Melbourne are all set, as are the drivers, heading into 58 laps around Albert Park. We look now to Esteban Ocon, who's clearly ready and raring.
They just need to keep it clean and sensible in the race.
And it looks like we're good to go.
Download kicked in again to immediately pause that again.
Brace yourselves for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
We leave it to you.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at tyres. Most of the field's pretty evenly split. More people on softs and mediums, but nice little lunge from Oscar to retake 16th from Hulkenberg there. Yeah, Mr. Watson, my auto download. Well, not my auto download. I started a download of Train Life earlier, and then realised it wasn't going to be finished in time for the stream, so I paused it and it's restarted twice, which is why you have those two spinny symbols. Oh wow, we got lunged by 2 cars there. That's not good. Oscar's though, confidence though, still looking decent. Liam's just a little below his starting level. Yeah, I think it's £10.50 for the game plus the Orient Express expansion. Not bad, you know. John says, made it past lap 1. Yes, we did. We actually made it into the second sector. Well, technically we made it into the second sector. This is where we wiped out last year on lap 1, right at the beginning of sector 2. So a big improvement on last year already.
So take it easy.
Copy.
And a small lift off to the tyres.
Right.
Copy.
Let's see if we can actually make a move forward now with battery involved.
DRS enabled.
Oh, hello. Someone's had a bad start. It's a full-on safety car.
That That's not looking good for Charles Leclerc.
Oh, it's Leclerc. Oh, yeah, that's 2 big hits. That's 2 cars out. And that's 2 positions gained for both our drivers.
Safety car. Keep your delta positive.
Copy.
So work on front tyres as much as you can.
I'm debating changing up the strategy. I mean, it's only lap 3. It's a bit early to get a stop out of the way. If this had happened in like 5 laps time, I would absolutely be jumping into the pits, but... Big gap as well. Look at that sight. Over 6 seconds behind the Red Bulls. Although that might be because Ocon and Leclerc were between Sainz and the Red Bulls. Oh, they are boxing. Wow. There's a lot of people boxing. I'm going to pause this because I want to have a look and see who's boxing onto what. So that's medium tyres. Medium's going on. Yeah, everyone who's boxing is coming off softs and going on to mediums. Alright, I think I made the right decision to stay out because this is going to potentially move us up. Yeah, we're in the top 10, look. Like I said, had this happened in a few laps' time, I would absolutely be boxing, but with an issue for Magnussen at the pits as well.
The Haas garage are set to go.
Go on, look.
They're really struggling to tighten that one.
Schumacher is going to be playing blocker to some of those cars behind. Maybe not for very long, but certainly long enough to frustrate them a little bit. So everyone who boxed, who was on softs and is now onto mediums, they were originally looking probably at a 2-stop strategy. They've now probably converted that to, well, it's still a 2-stop, but they're now probably going just one more stop to the end. They'll switch to hards at some point later. Or possibly even mediums. Well, that's something I didn't think about, actually. Have a quick look. What would happen if I went medium from this point? I wouldn't be able to push the tyres. But it would be doable. Trouble is, we would absolutely go to the back of the grid because we've been stuck behind the safety car for this whole lap. So while we'd catch up again very quickly, I think I'd rather keep the track position for now. See if we can actually push forward a little bit on these softs. And so I'd rather have the ability to push the tyres hard, because that seems to be the only way we can get any pace out of the car right now. It is nice to see a safety car in Melbourne that wasn't caused by us. Train life, you have to watch out for animals. If you hit them, you lose XP. Yeah, true, but you also gain a steak dinner. That sounds really bad, doesn't it? How did Max pit and still come out ahead? Safety car speeds. Well, it depends on the animal. I mean, it might be a cow on the line. It was 3 laps in the race, he pitted. Yeah, he was also comfortably clear of us. We were at the back of the grid, don't forget. And it's quite a short pit lane. And to be honest, I'd rather he was in front of us, because if he was behind us, he'd just go straight past us and damage our confidence. So, leaving him in front, I'm okay with that. It's not like we're going to be challenging him for the race win later. Besides, Barry, if you want to get technical, and I may be wrong on this, so don't necessarily hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure steak is just a cut of meat rather than a type of meat. It would be beef if it was cow. But I'm sure you could have a deer steak. Yeah, I'm just being pedantic now. Trying to keep trying to stay in the ascendancy after having my comments swatted down. Right, are we going to get a safety car in at the end of this match? Yes, we are. All right, back up to racing speeds.
Safety car should be in this lap.
And we've got plenty of spare fuel now.
What you're doing now. Copy that.
And this time we are going to push the battery straight away.
Copy.
Because we want to try and break away from Schumacher if we
No
can.
saving required.
Yeah, I got it.
Use energy. Copy.
This is going to help Perez and Alonso no end. Alonso in particular maybe has a real chance of sprinting away, but we know how quick that Red Bull is.
Stay close to the car in front.
Sainz is already pushing on the back of Schumacher there. He'll be coming after us soon. Lawson's struggling to keep up. Again, I'm wondering if this is a dirty air thing. Or is Oscar just a little bit quicker here this week? I did say that these two would probably fluctuate in who's the quicker driver over the course of the season with their pace stats so similar. Maybe Oscar's just benefiting from having a more direct slipstream. Perez with a 120, which is 2 seconds quicker than we can do. 2.5 for Lawson. Right, Hulkenberg's vulnerable. Let's see if we can get him. Got to wait another lap before the DRS kicks in. Lawson now back in DRS range just about, and we have gapped Schumacher just, which just means Sainz will pounce him pretty much immediately.
So we need one step more management.
Copy. Bring the pack up.
Copy.
No DRS available, no DRS available.
Copy. No energy.
Copy.
So we've got to wait till sector 2 before we'll get our first active DRS. Again, Sainz looking feisty in the background there, and gets around the outside of Schumacher. He should complete that move, and he does, just about. Yes, there we go. Schumacher's tucked in behind. So we've got a Ferrari coming after us now. Hulkenberg has got himself back into DRS as well, which is annoying. I was hoping we could close the gap to him. Looks like Norris is causing the hold up at the moment. He's the cork in the bottle. And Gasly's going to have a go. And Gasly's going to get him into turn 1. And I genuinely don't know if we would be quicker in clean air or not. Still so many unknowns about the actual pace of this car in relation to everyone else. Early indications have not been good once we have hit clean air, unfortunately. Because the DRS is definitely quite powerful. Well, DRS in combination with slipstream is quite a powerful effect. Russell has got past Schumacher and Sainz. He's now up to 12th place. So George on the move. Yeah, Gasly is clear of Norris already, so Hulkenberg will be next to have a crack at Lando. Oscar not far behind him. Lawson still just about hanging into DRS range. But George will probably have a crack at him. We have got a good DRS. Maybe that will save us while we have it. But as soon as we lose it, like now, we could be in trouble. Can Lawson stay in range? Closed up under braking, that's good. Norris still hanging on to 8th place. And look how far ahead Perez and Alonso are already. Here comes George, going to look for the move around the outside. And he's going to muscle his way through. And that's Piastri who's in trouble, because I think he might have just lost the DRS. He did. That's not ideal. But it might give Lawson... Oh, no. Look at this. Oh, it's a yellow flag. As Russell gets through, Sainz now is just going to swoop through. Max with a mistake.
Now we're approaching turn 2. Oh, we've seen a few go off the track there.
He
and they
barely
might want
touched
to take
the...
a look at the floor of the car there.
Barely went over the
That
curb.
won't do it any good.
Another yellow flag. That's a Williams in the background going straight on. I heard the tyres screeching. Albon going straight on at turn 3.
Now look, here we head into turn 2. The wheels just lock up there. And hopefully there's not too much damage to the tyres.
I think he just avoided hurting his front wing there. But Piastri has dropped off the back of Russell already. Which means he's going to be vulnerable to Sainz, who's swarming all over the back of him. Yuki has come along for the ride. Our tyres already now starting to really grumble. Oop, I'm on the wrong strategy. There we go. I'm going to see if I can maybe stretch these tyres a little bit and then go to a set of mediums. Evening, Anthony. Speaking of Georges, I do feel sorry for the George that popped into the chat last night. Said hello and the stream immediately ended. If you're still with us tonight, George, hello. Sorry about kind of just abandoning you in the middle of your hellos there. Nature was calling and I was powerless to resist. Our confidence situation looking like? Still okay for Oscar, but not brilliant. It's okay for Lawson, but he's under pressure now. This is where it starts to go wrong, when we just start going backwards. Oscar just can't keep pace with Sainz. He's already broken clear of us. And now Yuki's going through. Even Barron. Right, maybe we can at least stick with Yuki. So I'm going to try and stretch these tyres out another few laps yet. I'm looking at converting onto mediums in the middle stints. I think we can just about get away with that. It'll certainly be a little bit quicker, I think. When's my next significant upgrade? I don't know now. I was hoping it was going to be Baku, but we've got a fire in the design centre, which is shutting that down for 10 days, so we might not have any significant upgrades for Baku. I really hope that's not the case, but probably will be significantly damaging. We have got a new suspension on the car tonight, and it's given us a little bit of improvement in downforce, but nothing too significant. All the big upgrades, the chassis, the side parts, the underfloor, the rear wing, still in development hell right now. Evening, sir. Starting to lose a little bit of ground to Yuki. Might get back in range by the end of this straight here, but definitely not looking so good. I'm going to box Oscar at the end of this lap.
Stay close to the cars in
Stagger
front.
our drivers.
Box.
Copy. Box.
We need to focus on the energy now.
Yeah, copy that.
Back off.
Yep, copy.
Right then,
Hit that.
our first stop.
Okay, copy.
We can just focus on charging your pack.
Okay, copy.
Box.
And Bottas gets past Lawson, and it's a bad stop for Oscar. Guys. Lawson in real trouble right now. He's getting swamped. Got so little grip compared to everyone else now.
And charge on.
Yep, copy.
That's just going to kill his confidence. Yeah.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
Copy.
Right, that's a better stop. 2.5.
It's actually clear.
That's actually going to put Lawson out in front of Oscar. Four seconds clear, give or take. About 20 seconds-ish for a pit stop here. Lawson has owned Oscar all three races. Not here, he hasn't. Oscar out-qualified Lawson here. He was running ahead. He had a slow pit stop, which is why he's now 4 seconds behind. He lost 5 seconds on his stop. given the very small difference in pace between our two drivers, I wouldn't say either of them is owning the other one at all at the moment.
Yeah.
Right, let's try and hunt down the cars in front of us now. Right, Oscar's confidence is rebounding a little bit quicker. New personal best sector for him as well. That will also help. That'll be another little boost.
No DRS available, no DRS available.
Yeah. Copy.
Recharge on.
Copy.
So we just have to be patient now. Grind those gaps down. Keep an eye on tyre wear. Try and stretch these tyres long enough. To make another set of softs work. I mean, if necessary, we'll box them early and just take the pace out of the softs. Just run them at normal pace. Right, actually, is that going to be quicker? Let's have a look. Probably won't be quicker on paper, but you never know. We were to do that, but then put them to, say, there. That might be a better option. We'll see how we go. We've got some options. Yeah, we can delay the stop by, bring the stop forward by a couple of laps, and then just take the push out of the softs in the final stint. There's a permanent push, and then just do pushes here and pushes there. Curious as to what's going to happen now with Alonso and Gasly and Hamilton, what they're going to do. They're probably going to go onto hard tyres. I think everyone who's on mediums, who didn't start on mediums, might go for another set of mediums. Those who started on mediums are probably going to have to go for a set of hards, unless they can stretch the softs. Max is flying, look at that. He's up to second now. He's 7 seconds ahead of Alonso. And he is hunting down his teammate and has got tyres in much better condition as well. see we are lapping quicker than everyone in front of us up to Hulkenberg at the moment. The gap is now under 10 seconds. Tyre wear still looks okay. Now Gasly's through. Alonso's really struggling on those softs now. He's got to be boxing soon. He's got Stroll and Hamilton for company. And Stroll's going to be making the move very, very soon. Oh, and all three of them into the pits at the same time, all getting off those soft tyres. So Gasly gets out ahead of Hamilton, and Alonso gets held for the pair of them. Ah, disaster for Alonso. And they get out in front of Albon. He's going to have an immediate attack on Alonso here. This is his only chance really to make the move before Alonso gets those tyres switched on. And I don't think he's going to be able to complete it. He's got another chance while Alonso is still out of DRS. But as soon as that gap gets closed up, Albon's lost his opportunity to get through. Bad lap for Oscar. Not quite sure where that came from. Still a little bit of inconsistency in our drivers. This is down to their accuracy rating. Better their accuracy, the more consistently they stick to the racing line and keep their speed up over a period of laps. That's why Oscar's lost a little bit of time to Lawson. I think Lawson has a slightly higher accuracy rating at the moment. He has been going through our higher rated driver academy for longer than Oscar, so he's been able to develop quicker. Now they're on an even footing in terms of development speed, because we do have better simulator facilities in McLaren. And there we go. Albon has been left in the dust. Let's go back to Lawson. He's now just 3 seconds behind Schumacher, who is dropping like a stone off the back of Albon and Alonso. Schumacher did not stop at that earlier safety car, so he's on his original tyres. I don't think Albon stopped either. As Sainz boxes now. So this is the first of the medium runners to box, and he is going for another set of mediums, and they will go to the end unless he does something stupid to them. And he's been dropping behind Albon. And Schumacher, and there's Lawson. So the gap is definitely coming down. Let's check our tyre wear rates. They're still okay. They're still on prediction. Still burning off that extra fuel as quickly as we can. Oscar's got his confidence back. Lawson's confidence is getting there. He's into the high category again now, so he's starting to get some decent modifiers. He's a little easier on his tyres than Oscar as well, so he can keep his pace up a little bit longer as the stint goes on. This is why I really wanted to try and work on their smoothness ratings this season, but given our current lack of pace, I felt it prudent to switch back to pace stats. Again, the aim for tonight is a top 15 finish. Would be nice. Top 14 would be very nice, because that's what our race finish streak is requesting. And we've got a yellow flag, and that is at turn 3. It's a big crash, and I think that's involving a Mercedes, maybe? Certainly involving Bottas.
We've got a yellow flag.
A little coming together there with Hamilton and Bottas. That'll cause a bit of damage to tyres and possibly bodywork as well. We did see a little bit of carbon fibre flying. Let's take a look at Bottas's car. Take a look at tyres as well. Bottas's tyres at 44%. Hamilton's tyres not damaged, but we'll check his car in a minute. Perez boxes from the lead. And a bit of D from Farah, yes. Okay, investigation. Any penalties? No penalties given. But there's a second investigation because there were 2 contacts. No penalties given on the second one. Bottas does have a penalty though, so maybe that's from a third bit of contact. His front wing looks okay. Let's take a look at Hamilton's car. Oh yeah, he's got wing damage, and yet he's still trying to have a go at Alonso. So that wing damage can't be too significant. Lawson now on to the back of Schumacher. I'm going to slap into harvest mode.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Yeah, okay.
And Perez has gone hard tyres. As has Stroll. Stroll boxed as well for hard tyres. Schumacher's going to pit very soon, so let's stop dilly-dallying and get that move done. Get the confidence boost before he does box.
try and get past them.
Okay, copy.
No, he's not going to get it. Come on, stay out another lap, please, Mick. Please stay out another lap. Thank you. There we go. So that's going to be a clean overtake for Mick. Or on Mick, sorry. So that's a confidence boost for Lawson. Nice. That puts him above his starting level.
Right
We don't
then,
see many of these this year, so I'm going to replay this
Now
one.
the Alpha Tauri involved here.
A
Hadley
nice,
squeezed
straightforward,
by.
clean on-track overtake.
And
Got
the
it done
Alpha
before the
Tauri
braking
manages to
zone.
get
Love it.
by.
If only we could churn out a few more of those. And that's a new personal best in the first sector, thanks to the DRS. And we've already dropped Schumacher. I think he might have just, yeah, he just hung on for that last one. Can he actually might just sneak into this one as well? Right, let's go after Valtteri now.
Use energy. Copy.
Yuki's in the box. Sainz and Hamilton still scrapping side by side. And we have broken away from Schumacher now. We might catch Valtteri on this lap as well. That would be really nice. Get that confidence up even higher. There's Yuki coming out the pits. They are a little bit thin on the ground. Yes, Mr. Otter, unfortunately, they are. We are definitely worse than I thought we would be this season. Or at least at the start of this season. Bottas hanging with Yuki while Yuki gets his tyres up to speed. We'll start dropping back on the next lap. We're going to be on the pair of them at this rate. Can we hang with Yuki for a little while? Another personal best in the middle sector now. We can see Valtteri box. No, we're not. Excellent. So this gives me an opportunity to get an overtake on Valtteri. Schumacher boxes. So no overtake for Oscar, but I didn't think he'd get there in time. So I'm not that surprised by that. We're going to keep his battery charging. I know he's losing ground to Lawson at the moment, but...
No energy.
Copy.
We can just focus on charging the pack.
Copy that.
I'm okay with that for now. And Schumacher's gone softs, and I don't know if they'll last. I mean, they might do if he doesn't push them. Valtteri's almost certainly going to be boxing at the end of this lap. Let's get the move done. Up the inside, complete the move. And there's the confidence boost, right on the cusp of peak confidence. Oh, we are technically in peak confidence. Beautiful. Bottas stayed out. Oh, I did not expect him to do that.
We need to focus.
Which means he's going to re-overtake, or try to re-overtake. He didn't. Norris is boxed and come out just behind Yuki. Albon's boxed and come out right in front of Oscar, who will not be able to get the move done against brand new softs.
Copy.
I don't think. So we'll try and charge up. Lawson's been overtaken again. Again, I'm just going to rebuild that battery and then push past Bottas at the end of the lap again. In theory. There we go, at the inside. Move is done. Surely Valtteri's boxing this lap. No, he's staying out again.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Oscar just missing out on the DRS. That's annoying. A pit stop issue for Hulkenberg. That helps. And Lawson very much in peak confidence right now. As Max boxes from the lead. That's almost certainly for a new set of softs. Oscar right behind Hulkenberg, who is on new softs. Magnussen and Hamilton are both in. And that is a front wing change for Lewis. And soft tyres. Valtteri's in. Does not hold up Lewis, unfortunately. But he's got a 5-second penalty. That looked like a 10-second penalty. So he was apparently no penalties given for those 2 collisions, but he also got a 5-second penalty for both of them. So, despite getting no penalties, he got 10 seconds worth of penalties. Not complaining. It helps us. And it really helps us. Right, I'm going to box Oscar early, and I'm going to box Lawson early as well. And just take them onto softs and not push them. There we go.
And box.
Alright, can we stay ahead of Hamilton before he catches us? Russell boxes from third. Max sets a new fastest lap. He's 8 seconds off Perez. But he's got 21 laps to hunt him down. Oh, George gets out right in front of the two McLarens there.
Oh,
Copy. Box.
Copy, box.
Oh, 2.45. That's a much better stop. That's good. If nothing else, we're going to beat Aston. We're going to beat Aston. We're going to beat Alfa Romeo tonight. I wish we could beat Aston. We are a long way off being able to beat Aston. But if nothing else, we are going to beat the Alfa Romeos tonight. So that's something. That's a very small step forward. Oh, damn it. There's the lunge, and that's going to take the confidence away right before the pit stop.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
Copy.
So we had a 2.5 for Lawson's first stop. Can we get a 2.4 here? Not quite. In fact, I think that's slightly slower than the first one.
Clear on exit. Bring the pack up.
Copy.
Right, let's go hunting after Schumacher.
Overtake button.
copy.
We can put a bit of energy on tires.
Copy.
Looks like Schumacher's actually slowly closing on Lawson. He took a second out of Schumacher though on that last lap with Oscar. Should hopefully go even quicker on this lap. New personal best lap on the way for Liam. There is Mick. And there's Oscar. 120.8, a 120.7 for Schumacher.
Recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
Wow, that took quite a bit out of those tyres for Oscar there. That's still better than Schumacher's though. So we did say that one of my drivers would finish in the top 15 to the sponsors tonight. We are on target for that. And if something happens to Lawson, Oscar should still be in a place where he can actually fulfill that. As he's closing on Schumacher. If we can get them to the point where their starting confidence is in the very high category going into a Grand Prix, that just sets them up for better overall race pace. Because, as I say, as their confidence, will naturally degrade back to its starting level if it's above, and if it's below, it'll go back up to its starting level over time. But the higher that starting level, the higher the passive standard bonus to our stats is. So if we take a look at Oscar's stats there, that's what they are right now in the very high category. Now they will come down a bit as his confidence naturally ebbs down, but if we can start him in the very high, he'll be starting with these kind of bonuses. And if you look at Liam and his confidence right now, that's a massive bonus. Now if we can get them, we're not going to get them that high, but if we can get them somewhere in the middle, we can get them where they're getting +4s across the board. That's going to add up to quite a significant improvement to their overall base race pace when they're in periods like this where they're just running and not getting regular overtakes. So the better their relationship with their driver, with their race engineers, the better that starting confidence will become. To the point that their standard level of pace will improve, and that's before their training in the simulator boosts their pace even more. So our drivers are going to get quicker over the course of the season. That is pretty much guaranteed. Now we need to keep delivering a car that will enable them to use those, that growth in their pace stats to actually effectively go after positions. But we are going to see, as I say, a natural improvement in just the baseline pace of our drivers. If this car were to stay as it was for the rest of the year, they would be quicker in it by the end of the year than they are right now. Maybe not by a huge amount, but they would be quicker. But obviously the car, if it didn't improve from now onwards, would be last comfortably on the grid by the end of the year. Because in the world of Formula One, I forget who the quote was, but if you're standing still, you're actually going backwards. Let's give Lawson a bit of pace now.
Use energy. Copy that.
We're 13 seconds off of Hamilton, and we're unlikely we're going to catch him. Let's see. We're unlikely to actually catch anybody else. But as long as we can keep Schumacher and Co behind us, we'll be on for a nice 15th place. Another personal best sector. might, just through pushing here, be able to actually get him right onto the edge of peak confidence. Let's see. Let's see what happens if we get another personal best in the final sector, which we should do. Is that going to push his accuracy up? No, it didn't. Wasn't quite enough of a jump. Oscar still closing in by over half a second a lap. He's now just outside of DRS range. We'll get him to charge up for a couple of laps before we try and push past. Be nice to avoid getting lapped in this race, but given how quick Perez and Verstappen are lapping and where they are on the track map in relation to Oscar, I don't know if we can hold back the Red Bulls. We might be able to hold off Verstappen if we're lucky, but I think odds are if we get lapped by Perez, we're getting lapped by Max as well, because we're going to have to lift and let him through. It's going to slow us down. Max will be pushing at full speed. He'll catch us pretty quickly.
Copy box.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Copy.
So
Yeah, look at that. We just snuck him back into peak confidence, and that's got him with +6s now to everything except his defending, which he doesn't really need to do at the moment, so that's good. Oscar now in range. Let's get him harvesting.
We need recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
We need to have enough battery to break away from Mick as soon as we do go for the move. I don't really want to make the move until we get to the final turn. Because then we'll have 2 straights of DRS to help pull away. Always go for it. And he's going to complete that move as he crosses the DRS line. About now.
Recharge.
Copy.
Okay, that's a bit frustrating. There's Bottas. And there's Perez. We've still got 11... Well, Perez has got 11 laps to go. We've got 12. I don't think we're going to keep him behind us. I think we are going to get lapped. And we've already got so much spare fuel on board. The last thing we need is to add in another load more. We've got a yellow flag. There's a
Now we
lock-up
should
for
be able
Yuki.
to take a look here. Now we're at turn 11 now. Well, you can see the lock-up. By that point, it was just too late.
Under pressure from Lando and just buckled. And that's cost him a place in 4 seconds. We took a second out of Hamilton on that last lap. What have we done on this one? No, we actually lost 6/10. So
Use deploy as much as you can.
all right, let's try and break away from Mick now.
can push one step more.
Copy.
He's going to get this DRS zone, which means he'll get the next one as well, probably. It's going to be close. He might just sneak in. I don't think he did. Can't tell from that angle. He's definitely not going to make this next one, though. So Hamilton's pushing right now. You can see that with a 1:19.5. Near 1:21.1. So we're still slower than the Haas of Hulkenberg. And besides, I don't think we've got enough time to close the gap up to him anyway. 13 seconds now to the back of Magnussen. About 14 seconds if you add in Hulkenberg and Hamilton as well. And we're only lapping 0.3 of a second faster, so unlikely for any further movement. But we're running 15th and 16th. It's not ideal, but it is going to be our first successful finish guarantee with the sponsors, I think. I guaranteed one of them would make the top 15. We needed some help from Ocon and Leclerc to do it, but we did it. Or we're on course to do it. Let's not count the chickens too quickly. I do have a little bit of life left in the tyres as well. So I could up the pace a little bit, but it's not a massive amount extra. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can up the pace a bit and just see if we can hunt down the cars in front. Maybe we might get lucky. You know, if they're going to be scrapping with each other, we'll keep an eye on this. If they're scrapping with each other, they're going to slow each other down, theoretically. Magnussen's going to have to drive very defensive to keep both Hulkenberg and Hamilton behind him. We're taking defensive lines into a lot of the corners. And there's also the chance of a lock-up, you know, doing some serious damage. As Hamilton picks off Hulkenberg. And the gap has come down a bit. It's now 11 seconds. Hamilton make the move here. He does, and that is not good. Well, maybe it's not all bad. It depends. If he breaks away quickly, it won't be too bad, because these two will, you know, Hulkenberg and Magnussen will still fight amongst each other for 13th. But if Hamilton can't break away, he is quicker anyway, so he will just drag them along at a faster rate, which will kill any chance Lawson has of closing that gap down. Bottas has got past Mick, and both of the Alphas have been lapped. I reckon we've got about 4 seconds on track between us and Perez right now. Magnussen failed to get the DRS, and now he's going to have to go defensive again to hold back Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg has slightly less grip, and we've got much more grip than the pair of them. And we were about a second a lap faster on that last lap, but we certainly did not have enough time at a second a lap difference to close them down. I could absolutely hammer the tyres to bring that gap down sooner, but then I'd have nothing to actually make the overtake with. And I probably wouldn't even be able to catch them anyway. So they did just try and close the gap up a bit in case one of them makes a mistake, I think. And Oscar stay ahead of Perez. Just about 3.5 seconds.
We push on tyres.
Yep.
We'll give him a bit more pace as well. And once again, the only real difference in their pace has been the confidence. Lawson's been luckier with track position since the first round of pit stops. Oscar had that really bad pit stop which took him out of position by over 5 seconds. Lawson was able to get some overtakes in before his pit stop. Before both of the Alfa Romeo's box, which got his confidence into the peak category, which gave him much faster overall pace than Oscar for quite a while. The gap's only 9 seconds between them though. So again, there is very little between our two drivers. If Oscar had had a normal pit stop, he would have actually been about a second ahead of Lawson, so he would have had those overtakes as well. He would have been the one in peak confidence as well, and would be 9-10 seconds further up the road. Maybe even more than that. Lawson's got the gap down to 8 seconds. There's 5 laps for him to go. They are lapping a second a lap faster still. That's not enough. But if they do make a mistake, and they are fighting side by side, then anything's possible. Perez has now been able to drop Bottas and is closing in again on the back of Oscar. There is Perez, just a couple of seconds behind. Less than that, less than 2 seconds now. Now into the 122s. Lawson the 121.2. Piastri is going to get lapped this lap, and Max is coming as well. So 3 laps to go. 4 for Lawson. Going to bring it home with Oscar now.
You've got energy.
Copy.
use the deploy when you can.
Yeah.
I want to be careful where and when I get past my max here. I don't want to drop back into the clutches of Valtteri. Three laps left for Liam. 2 for Oscar. Gap is 5 seconds. Let's not get too carried away, Farah. Let's not forget that Bottas had 10 seconds worth of penalties in this race. So he was very close to Lawson. Trying to be optimistic. Yeah, I appreciate that.
We can just focus on.
All right, now this is the perfect place for us to get past because we should still be able to get the DRS.
Yeah.
And that will keep us out of Bottas's clutches. Yes, there we go. So, a little under 2 laps left for Liam. I don't think he's going to get much closer than that. I'm just going to get him to bring it home now as well and save those tyres. Make sure they don't fall to bits. Hulkenberg is hanging on. He's in puncture territory now. If he gets a puncture in the next few corners, well, if he gets a puncture anywhere between this part on the last lap and now, then yeah, we might potentially be able to jump him. There we are. Yeah, I'd say I've got some cautious optimism. Like, we're not that far off pace-wise against Haas. You know, I did say earlier, I'm not sure if it was Bahrain or if it was Jeddah, I said, looks like our rivals this year are going to be Alfa Romeo and Haas. Maybe Williams at an absolute stretch, but you can see they're doing quite well in this race. McLaren doing well, but we knew that they were going to do well this year in comparison to us.
Check reflect.
Perez has crossed the line first.
But we're very, very close to Haas. We are a little bit quicker, it would seem, than Alfa Romeo. You've got to take into account the Bottas effect. You know, as a very high-ranked driver as their number one. That's certainly going to play a part in his pace in that car. If you put a comparable driver to Schumacher in that car instead of Bottas, then that would be 2 cars with you know, a lack of pace rather than just, you know, 1 car, which is where they currently are. And again, Haas have got better rated drivers than we do, not by a massive amount, but they have got quicker, you know, better balanced drivers than we do right now, and we're close to them. So yeah, we are making baby
back to their
steps.
teams, we see Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, and in the end, it was a finish in P6, which will bring in a few points.
And onto the podium goes Sergio
Checo
Perez,
holds on for the win.
and he's certainly in good company
From
there.
Max Gasly in 3rd.
That's their 2nd win of the season. A brilliant talent who looks so at home on the track.
Well, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park, but it was a thrilling weekend here for us all at the Australian Grand Prix. Down there in the Alpha Tauri garage, Karun, what would they be making of that race, do you think?
They did okay today, I'd say. I mean, we're talking about such a competitive field, and all things considered, the drivers did all right.
And that's about that for this weekend here in Melbourne.
Next time, the teams will be racing through the streets of another city. Join us in Baku on the shores of the Caspian Sea for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Well, there we go. That's confirmation of the final result. It is a win for Checo above Max. That's going to keep Checo at the top of the Driver Championship. Checo 2024. Gasly up 15 places to finish in third, ahead of Stroll and then Russell, Sainz, Zhou, Alonso with a poor race in the end, dropping down 4 places. Norris in ninth, Albon up into the final points paying position. And then as we look further down, it's Yuki from Hamilton, Magnussen, Hulkenberg. Lawson up 4 places, Piastri up 1, Bottas down 4, Schumacher up 2, and DNFs for Leclerc and Ocon. That fastest lap of a 1:18.7. Much faster than Sergio's. Much faster than everybody else. Nobody even got close to that, I don't think. Yeah. Max is just on another level. But also I think he had the benefit of faster tyres when he set that. So, in the Drivers' Championship, Checo extends his gap to 6 points now over Max. Lance is in third place still. He is 5 points clear of Carlos now. George jumps up 3 places to take 5th ahead of Alonso. Gasly climbing 4 places to 7th. No points for Leclerc or Ocon, and they both drop down 2 places. Norris dropping a place as well, thanks to that big points haul from Gasly. Same with Hamilton as well. No points for him tonight. He stays on 7 and drops to 11th. Zhou moves up into 12th place with 6 points ahead of his teammate, who does pick up another one there. And if we scroll a bit further down, Liam Lawson is now ahead of Mick Schumacher in the championship. Excellent stuff. In the Constructors' Championship, well, what can you say? Maximum points for Red Bull. They are already steamrolling the competition this year. Aston in second on 54 points. They are 76 behind after just 3 races. That's a huge, huge amount. Ferrari on 44 points, then Alpine moving up onto 4th by way of that podium, level with Mercedes on 29 points each. McLaren on 11, Williams with 8, Haas yet to score, Alfa Romeo yet to score. We are still bottom, thanks to a higher finish for Bottas. But that's a little step forward for us. We're getting there. Let's see how we did in the pit stop competition. We got the fastest stop with a 2.452 for Oscar. Excellent, ahead of McLaren, Ferrari, then Lawson with a 2.565. Red Bull all the way down in the 2.7s for both their drivers. So we're going to get big points against Red Bull tonight. Let's see where we stand in the competition. We retake the lead, and we are now 24 points clear of Red Bull. McLaren up 2 places into third on 50. Are we going to defend our title this season? That would be nice. Let's take a quick look at our driver reports. 3 successful overtakes, 2 failed. 5 successful defences, 8 failed for Lawson. 2 and 6 in the overtakes for Oscar. 4 and 4 in defence. And in terms of sponsorship, we missed out on reaching Q2 and our quali position, unfortunately. It's the first time we didn't get out of Q1. But we did get a car into the top 15 at the end of the Grand Prix, which softened the blow of losing out that money there. So we ended up with 2.6 mil. It's not too bad. Right, we've got 25 days until Baku, but the big upgrades that we were hoping for are stuck in purgatory at the moment. It's Yes, 17 days until the chassis comes. We might get one ready for Baku. Underfloor's not going to happen now. Rear wing isn't going to happen now. Unless I throw on some extra engineers. I need that rear wing. So let's throw a load of engineers on that. That will give me 6 days. That'll give me time to get 2 rear wings, 1 each for Baku. The side pods will be ready in time, but again, we'll only have time maybe to manufacture 1 of them, and even then we might have to rush it. So yeah, a little annoying about the factory fire, really screwing us over there. Did we get through inspection? No, we wore out another front wing, so let's go and replace that now. There we go. Let me have a look as well, actually. We are starting to get a little low on some parts. Let's check the warehouse. Chassis being held up, but that's okay. Underfloors and suspensions are now an issue. I do need to make more. Well, we've already got more on the way, so that's okay. I'm not worried about suspensions now. Underfloors. It's a long wait now until our next one. This one's at 39%. That's maybe got 1 weekend left in it. And that's at 44. Again, maybe just the 1 weekend left in it. It's a sprint weekend, so that's a lot of mileage. So I think we're going to have to go ahead and make a couple of spare underfloors, because I don't think we're going to have the other ones ready in time to replace the ones that are currently on the car. So we're going to need backups for our current spec, which is not ideal. That's money I would hopefully have avoided spending. And had we not had the fire, that's 800 grand that we wouldn't have had to spend. Never mind. Right, what else do we need? Still got 4 front wings. Chassis. I've got 1 spare chassis. How long till they wear out? That's at 70%. And 90%, so they're fine. Not worried about those. What else? Side pods. 47% and 52%. I think I can just about risk holding off. Check out the next calendar. So Miami is a week after Baku. I'm going to chance it. See if I can get away with it. If I have to rush build one of them, so be it. But I'd rather not build any if I can at all get away with it. And rear wings. Well, we should be sorted for rear wings if things go to plan. So we don't have to worry about any more spare parts. That is good. I can't start any more development. We've lost the bonus now, by the look of it. We don't have those extra 2 slots anymore. So the is that 2 months already? That was for 45 days. That was 4 weeks ago. What was the date on that email? It doesn't say. But we should have that. Maybe it's just because it's been shut down that it's closed those slots off. Maybe we will get that back. It's only been 30-something days. So if that, it's only been, what, 20... Maybe not even that. Maybe not even 30 days yet. So we should theoretically still have that. But by the look of it, we've only got about 15 days or so left. And the first part isn't going to be ready for another 17 days. So, yeah. We'll see what happens when the... Actually, thinking about it, let me see if I can still buy those extra engines. No, I can't. It's worn out. That's not been 45 days. Maybe we just lost it because of the fire. That's annoying. I wonder, that's got to be a bug, surely. Oh well. I was thinking maybe I could buy those extra engineers for a few more days and then boost the other projects a bit as well, but never mind. Alright, projects are resumed. Let's take a quick look then. Oh, we do have those slots available again. Excellent. So, in that case, I can now go and hire extra engineers, even if it's only for a few days. I've got 5.2 million. Kind of want to take advantage of the fact that we've got this period of a boosted performance to try and get our rear wing or front wing started. We are going to go an intense build on this. Let's see, 45 days. We want it for Monaco, so we're going to need to put a couple of extra engineers on. I ideally want 3 minimum rear wings, so I'm going to have to go 3 engineers. That'll give me 11 days. That'll be 3, and if I rush, I can get 4 rear wings in that period. And that leaves me 2 engineers to try and improve another project. So now, what do we want to do with this? This won't give us anything amazing. I do want to boost the braking. I'll do this at the expense of our airflow. Try and generate some extra downforce if we can. It's not even going to give us that much in brakes, look. Take a bit of lifespan out of this. Actually, let's take a little bit more of that off. Definitely want to boost the medium speed a little bit more if I can. So, new front wing on the way from Monaco. That leaves me 420,000. So, how long is it going to take to build a chassis? And how long is it going to take to build a side pod? Let's take a look. So, a side pod takes 8 days, a chassis takes 10. Right, so in that case, if I do that, I can at least get 1 chassis. That's I mean, that chassis is going to be worth quite a bit in terms of performance gains. There you can see the downforce gains it'll give us, the engine cooling gains, the speed and acceleration boosts it will give us. But do I really want to risk going into a sprint weekend with only 1 copy of a brand new chassis across both cars? Because if they ding it in practice or qualifying, and I'm locked into that, or even in the sprint as well, I'm locked into that part and can't replace it with a lower spec part, I think we'll hold the chassis back an extra race. We'll save the chassis for Miami. How long does an underfloor take to make? 8 days. That's not going to be ready till Imola. at the earliest. But we've already committed to building replacement underfloors, so we'll leave that as is. We won't affect the underfloor project. Front wing is fine. Rear wing will give us time for spare rear wings. I'm not worried about that. Side pods take 8 days. That's going to take 7. So I guess we do that. I'm much more comfortable having only one side pod instead of 2, because they rarely ever get damaged. And that should still theoretically give us quite a nice little boost there to speed and acceleration. So yeah, there we go. That's the extra engineers in place. We might lose some of them. I don't know if they'll stay there until the project they're working on is finished, or whether they'll just go as soon as the the 45 days is up. But we'll see, I guess. Let's advance time a bit more. Monthly car development reports. Not amazing, but not horrendous. Board confidence check-in. They still have high confidence in us. What did they actually think of the last race? They were disappointed again. Yeah, there's a lot of those popping up now. That's not at all good to see. While I'm here, let me check our facilities. CFD simulator needs a refurb. Car part test centre needs a top-up. Factory needs a top-up. Everything here is okay. Everything here is okay. Yeah, money's definitely tight. Right, driver updates. How did our drivers improve over this month? A point in cornering and braking for Liam. Point in braking for Oscar. So yeah, you can see now that there is a bit more disparity in the pace between the two. And they both gained a point in accuracy as well. That's good. Oscar's accuracy up to 80. Nice. March in Formula 1. We've got a new suspension for Ferrari. McLaren saying it could be going better, but they're where they expect it to be. Okay. Let's take a look at the pit crew training. Let's strip that out. Go into cumulative. So we're going to give them... Actually, no, we've had some time pass already, so we'll go straight into proper training. Their fatigue level's looking quite nice at the moment. Yeah, we'll give them the Sunday off. As we get to Baku, okay, and then coming out of Baku, we'll give them the Monday off. Okay, that all works, and then how long we have after Miami until Imola. I don't think it's a triple header, so I'm going to just pencil in a day of training there. We can always come back and strip that out if necessary. Now we're getting a little bit of gain to our car building. We are also improving our overall baseline skills to reduce our chances of making mistakes as well. And we are also stripping just a fraction over the month off our pit stop time as well. Right, Right, so let me just quickly check the calendar. Next month. Yeah, we have got that gap until what will then be a triple header between Imola, Monaco and Spain. Alright, still got some time to go until we get to race weekend. New suspensions are done, so that should be spares. Excellent stuff. New regulation vote. So, regulation changes for next season. It's airflow or cooling. I'm going to go for airflow changes. New side pods are ready. Let's get one of those built ASAP. How much money do we have? Oh, nearly 6 million. Okay, so I'm going to build 2 of those. Spare underfloors are built. And I'm going to go ahead and start a refurb. On my car park test facility, because that is actually a higher spec facility. That's a spec 3 facility, that's a spec 2. So it'd be nice if we can to try and go into a straight upgrade for that, although that might be a bit too expensive at 12 million. But at least get one of those facilities back up to full spec. Design of the chassis is done. Let's start building those. I'm going to go for 4 of those. That's 2.2 mil. It might be too many actually. I might have to take a couple of those off. Because I'm not going to have the money for the wings otherwise. So let's refund one of those. There we go. You can always refund as long as it's not the very first one. So if you slap in an order for 4, that first one you can't refund because they immediately start work on that. So even if you cancel it, you know, on the very same day, that money's gone. But Part 2, Part 3 and Part 4, you will get a full refund for those if you cancel the manufacturing on those. So it's good to pay attention to what's actually being built and whether or not you can get away with cancelling it without incurring a loss of the funds. If you're going to lose the funds, you may as well absolutely just carry on building it unless you desperately need to clear that slot in your manufacturing factory for something else. All right, there we go. So we have now lost the boost from our design center improvement. What's that done to the lead times on our other projects? Not much, actually. We still have the engineers assigned to those, and we've actually got space for 1 new part, but we're going to hold off on that for a while now. I think going forward we're going to try and do 2 parts and 2 research projects per ATR. We'll see. Let's get that design on the rear wing done, and then we go straight to manufacture, and let's build. I'm going to rush these just because I want to have a spare. I can't afford to do that. Alright, let's go 3 normally then. So we won't have a spare rear wing. We're just going to really hope that we don't knacker one up. That's a bit of a shame. Okay, results of the regulation changes. It is going to be airflow changes. So that's good. That's not going to hurt our cooling, which, you know, has been theoretically we could have maybe gone a little tactical with that. We could have hurt everyone else's cooling, which is a lot better than ours, by going with cooling changes. But I think, you know, we've got more skill in airflow management than we do in cooling with our tech team. So it makes sense to, you know, hurt that, because it'll be easier for us to recover that than it would be to lose progress and earn it back again in cooling. Oh, great. We have tension between Ben and Liam. We're going to intervene and hope that sorts it out. We've got some scouting results back. Tondi now locked up for another 2.5 years. Balbo has 2.5 years left on his deal. These are the two new drivers. This is an F3 driver. She's 66 overall. I'm not expecting to see great stats here. She's got decent cornering pace. Not great braking. Terrible reactions. Horrendously bad smoothness. But strong accuracy. She's got some really... Considering she's, a first season in F3 rookie, she's got a couple of very, very strong individual stats there. Defending's not bad at all. Her accuracy is great. Cornering is good. Everything else is a bit rubbish, but you would expect it to be at that level. Let's take a look at Donna. Decent braking. Look at that control rating, 83. 80 in defending, 79 in overtaking. Poor adaptability, not great smoothness. Okay on the accuracy, not bad at all. Very poor in reactions though, and a little low in the cornering. But again, debut season. We'll keep an eye on Donna. It might be nice to get a woman into our reserve seats going forward. We'll keep an eye on that one. Alright, we've got 4 scouts to assign. Yeah, I'm not touching that comment, Farah. At all. You want to die on that hill, go for it. Where are all the usual suspects? Have I scouted them already? I think I might have already scouted them. Unless they're further up here. No, I have already scouted them. Some of them are only standard, not detailed. Gabriele Mini is definitely someone I want to scout, because he has the potential to become quite a potent driver in a few seasons' time. There isn't really anybody else I want to take a look at. Let's scout out some other engineers. GP is at Red Bull. He's going to be there for a while. Ricciardo has gone the other way to Ferrari. Bono has gone to Ferrari. Maybe that's why Hamilton's off the pace a little bit. He has a new engineer. Who does he have? He's got Mark Slade. What? Mark Slade from Haas has gone to... That makes no sense. Hugh Bird's still at Red Bull. Marcus Dudley's still at Mercedes. I wonder if they've actually moved Marcus Dudley over to George, from George onto Lewis. and put Mark Slade with George. It won't tell me unless I actually scout him. Well, let's do it. Let's scout him. Let's scout out GP. But, you know, he's going to be tied up for years in contracts. There's no point scouting Bono either, but it's all change at Ferrari. So who are we missing? There he is. Oh, he's a free agency. Oh, now Javi is available. And we can replace Matthias Spinney at the end of this year. Well, we can. Yeah. He's got 2 years left in his contract, so we could replace him at the end of this year and buy out the final year of his contract. Now, I had planned to bring in Josh, who currently is not interested because he thinks our team is a piece of shit, and he's not that far off. But Javi is available. That could change my plans a little bit. Let's see, how many engineers scouts do I have left? I've got 1 scout left. So who could we scout? Let's scout Hugh. There we go. Alright, so it's race day. We are going to throw some new parts onto Oscar's car. So they're both running the older chassis. That's exactly what I wanted. They're both on the old front wing. Put a new rear wing on Oscar's car. Let's put a new side pod on Oscar's car. And that's it for new parts. So, what has that done to our car? You're gonna have to find out tomorrow. I'm gonna put you on a cliffhanger. I'm gonna really just twist the knife a little bit there. Yeah, you'll have to find out tomorrow when we go to Baku. It will be a long night again tomorrow. It's a sprint weekend, so we've got practice, quali, practice, sprint, and then the race. So, yeah, we've got everything done up to and including prepping one of the cars. And we'll see the difference in performance between those two cars tomorrow night at the beginning of the stream. So make sure you're here at the time of 8 PM GMT tomorrow. And I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.